The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right. Good afternoon, traders. Happy Wednesday. Welcome out to the Tradespoon live trading room. Stocks and options. My name is Scott. I will be your host. I am the head trading coach here at Tradespoon. We're more than halfway through the week. Market's still acting a little bit screwy. Let's make sure we have a sense of what we're going to do with it, how we're going to handle it, how we're going to trade it, etc., etc., etc. Good to see everybody. If you weren't here this morning, glad you can make it this afternoon. If you were here, glad you can make it back. Let's dive in. This is me trading for a while, teaching for a while. This is the disclosure statement. Please be aware trading can be risky, options in particular. We're not advisors. This is for education purposes only. Have a plan. Manage your risk. Stay disciplined. Be water, my friends. There it is. Good afternoon, John. Good to see you. Hello, LK. Good afternoon, Phil. Thank you, as always. Let's dive in. So we started off negative, and we got more negative. Right? So we started off down quarter, third percent, depending on the market. S&P is down 1. The Dow is down 0.5. NASDAQ 1.75. Russell 1.5. Concerning, right? Stocks fall after Powell remarks as earnings rush in. Alphabet tumbles as Google's AI race with Microsoft heats up. Ooh, the race is on. All right. Disney earnings, investors eager for Iger. That's fun. Eager for Iger. Got it. Why the AI stock rally isn't another meme craze. Either way. AI obsession, latest symptom of Amazon disease. Okay. I think that's about it. Not a lot of news going on right now. Take a look at the economic calendar and see what it has to say in regards to news and announcement releases that may be upcoming. Wednesday, February 8th. A lot of Fed speak, Wholesale inventories basically as expected. Nothing there. Tomorrow, jobless claims, same as usual. No expectations. And like I said, if it creeps back up towards 250, yeah, maybe we'll start to be concerned. Friday, some inflationary data. Really not much left, right? There's really not a lot left this week overall. Okay, let's keep looking. Next week, anything interesting? More Fed expectation or inflation expectations, some CPI numbers, some retail numbers, production capacity utilization, jobless claims. I mean, yeah, we got some good inflationary data coming next week. That should be interesting and certainly useful to us by way of interpretation. Got it. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Toolbox. If you were here this morning, we went through this. If not, let's go through it real fast. The model still sees things bullishly, although it's got to happen sooner. That's going to start to slow down, right? It's not just going to, on an ongoing basis, keep showing that if we don't see the buyers actually come in, right? So that's very important, is that we see that actually happen. That's SPY. Let's look at QQQ. We're just a little bit stuck, unfortunately, in a bit of a quagmire, if you will. Not quite sure what information. Yeah, not quite sure what information the market exactly is looking for. Okay. NASDAQ's about the same. IWM is also about the same. Okay. Last but not, you can see even here that it said today could be a down day, and then followed by the uptick. But we better see that uptick come basically now, or the expectations of it are less and less likely to actually occur. Okay. And the Dow is a little bit more sideways. Okay, so let me ask you this. A quick little consensus here. What are you trading? Right? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? What are your thoughts? Are you trading less? Are you trading more? Significant uncertainty. Randall says agreed. Agreed. Okay. Okay. Let's keep going. Here is the Bob is here. Hey, Bob, good to see you. Randall says caution is in order. I would agree with that. The best way I've been describing myself is cautiously optimistic. I like seeing the right sectors move into place. I like seeing the right sectors leading. Now those are definitely things that help, but at the same time, we know that there's a lot going on. That the market's up against quite a bit. So, that's where we find ourselves. Okay. Today's heat map. What does it show us? Yeah, got a little nasty in tech, but that's okay. We actually said we want these things to retrace in order to provide setups. Healthcare is okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's just not much to it right now. All right, let's keep looking. Okay. Google's getting smashed. Jerry says bear market rally. Global markets aren't going anywhere until Putin is gone. That could very well be true. That could very, very well be true. Okay. All right, let's keep looking. Here is our bear flags all around. Yeah, let's just take a look and see. Let's just dive right into let's get to the SPY and to the watch list. So here you can see this was what we were looking for from a bounce, right? This is what we were looking for from a bounce. But as of right now, despite the fact that the bounce has established, it's a bit stuck today. Volume wise, I'm not concerned about this. It may just be a little bit of a pause in the launch, right? That's not a sell off. It could just simply be a brief retracement. Tomorrow's going to be very important, and how we finish the week is definitely going to be extremely important. Okay, let's keep looking. And the VIX, that's the big one. That's where I think we're going to get, as of right now, where I think I'm going to get the best amount of insight. So today, is that a breakout? Is that breaking the consolidation line? For me, not yet. It's definitely right at it, right? I mean, if you were to just sort of kind of come down with this thing, it's right there, right? I mean, it's right at that point. But it's not I mean, we tested a little above yesterday's high. Yesterday's high, 1999. Today's high, 20.12. We're actually a little bit below yesterday's high. I would say we're still right at it. So that makes tomorrow, if we have a pause day tomorrow and then we fall from there, still feeling bullish. Right? But the concern here, and I got to tell you, it's right on the bubble for me, where it went up, came back, and now we're turning. Now, if we finish above, you know what? To be honest with you, the more I look at it, 1954 was the open. I kind of feel like I might look at putting a put on just to sort of have it in place. That technically, I think, could be. It's not a break of the consolidation, but it is showing the signs of a higher low. Right? It is showing the signs of a higher low, and that's concerning. So yeah, let's go through the watch list. Let's see what happens as we go, and then as we get to the last 10 minutes, we'll reevaluate that again, and we'll talk about it. Just to get a sense, in case someone has to leave, what strike price? So let's go back to the SPY. Okay, so let's take a look. Right now, we're at 410. My thought process here, 410.95, 389.50. So I'd probably say the 390. That's about 5% out of the money. 390, and I would say I'm going to go 5 weeks out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 puts me at the 17th. So, yeah, not bad. That we're at a 5 weeks puts us at the standard marches. 5% puts us at the 390s. So let's just take a look at those for a sec. Okay, SPY. March is 35 days, is 5 weeks, so 37, right? Like we said. Singles. Looking at the puts, looking at the 390s, 369. That's the ones right there for me. I think that looks probably the best. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Full or half? I think I would go 2 contracts on this one. Where would I be wrong? Oops, let's pull this up. I mean, I think we're definitely wrong if we take out this high here, 418.31. We'll even just say 418.50 just as like a reference point. 418.50. Let's see. Okay. 418.50. Where are we going here? Trade. Analyze. I got to clean some things up in here. Don't need any of this. Bing, bing. And 418.50 50. I mean, that's less than half the risk. That's about right. So two contracts, if you're, it's about 200, 250 of risk in there. I need to get my dates right. A little bit more than that. Yeah. Okay. Let's visit this. Unless we get some kind of a late session rally that eases things off a little bit, there's a very good chance that trade is going to make sense. Okay. Let's get through the watch list and see how things are looking. We had a few things that were setting up, but we said we knew we had to wait. So did they come to fruition? That's the question. So let's get our charts, and then we'll come back and possibly put that hedge on, especially if you're maybe have some bullish things on that you're looking to protect. Okay, let's start at the top. And everything's running a little slow on my side, so bear with me today. Okay. Alcoa, like we said, don't let this fool you, right? You may be pot committed and stuck now. The quiz. The quiz. Sorry, Jacques. You're right. There's still time. There's still time. All right. These are the levels 410 and lower. You're a C. 411 and higher, you're an A. Between 411 and 410, you're a B. Those are your levels. Yeah, those are your levels. Okay, what do we got? Brad is a B. LK is a C. Jacques is a C. Phil is a B. Bob is a C. Okay, so a lot of people are looking for this thing to stay where it is or drop. Not a lot of rallies expected at this point. Fair enough. Okay. John's a C. Ted's a C. Bob's a C. Yeah, I think I'm going to be a B. I think it's going to stay somewhere in the middle. It's not going to break the lows, but it's going to stay somewhere in the middle, which I do believe would end up triggering a hedge trade, right? It would trigger the hedge. And Carmen is a B. Very nice. Glad to hear it. Very nice. Okay. Let's get back. Anyone else want to get in? We'll get back to it. Perfect. Sorry. Again, I keep losing function on my mouse. Give me 1 second. Okay, top of the list, Alcoa. Just kind of failed to launch. Nothing you can do with that one. Apple looks like it's getting ready to go into the retracement that sets up the trade that we're waiting for. That's definitely going to be, the next thing that I would be looking for sure. Okay, let's keep going. And ADI needs a consolidation, starting a consolidation. So if you're bullish on technology, this is exactly what you're looking for, quite honestly. AMD pulling back. Amazon still setting up. That was one that we had identified. For me on the chips, they still need more pullback, but Amazon is still definitely a valid setup. AXP needs to consolidate. Boeing too sideways, Baba too much down. Caterpillar, still, I would say two things. If you're in it, it's still valid. If you're not in it, it would be valid to look at for a new opportunity. Okay, let's see. Oil looks off. Costco still looks, it's down today, 2.5%, 2.25, but this is setting up. I'm good with this coming all the way back anywhere. I'd say between like 485, 495. It could still pull back, and I'll be like, yep, moving into position. Costco's definitely still on my list, no question. Okay. What's next? DBC looks like a sucker's rally. I don't know. Oil seems a little bearish to me right now, to be perfectly honest with you. It looks bearish. Gas, oil. John Deere does not look good. We've talked about the possibility of lack of momentum in the industrial sector. Okay. We'll keep looking. Disney. Okay. Earnings coming after market. Wouldn't touch it. Want to see what it does? Most definitely. Okay, let's see. FCX still looks viable. FDX absolutely still a setup. So this day, in my opinion, this day has brought some of the technology stocks closer to where they need to be, and they have not disrupted. It has not disrupted any of the previous bullish signals that we were examining, right? I think this is absolutely necessary for us. Okay, any thoughts? It's gone quiet out there today. FDX on the table, FXI not as much. Gold, I'm going to say no. Goldman really hasn't hardly been impacted at all, right? Hardly impacted at all. Okay. Let's keep looking. IWM. Small caps is definitely on the table for me as an independent trade. This we haven't even gone back to test this old resistance. Small caps look fine. I like the way that the small caps look. I'm curious. Oh yeah, we already looked. IWM looks good. Yeah, these all look just fine as of right now. So no concerns, right? Definitely no concerns. Okay. Wish would have gone all in on Netflix 6 months ago. Sure, right? Good old Netflix. We'll see that one in a minute. I like IWM. Jets, not as much, but yeah, I mean, you can see that there's something there. Okay. MasterCard kind of sideways. If you're in it, it's not wrong, but it's starting to get to that point based on time. That if that hasn't surpassed yesterday's high by Friday, there's no valid reason to stay in it through the weekend, and it would make sense to salvage whatever you could from it at that point. Um, Not a lot. How Meta's back to it hasn't started filling the gap yet, but certainly some concern there. Marvell, basically holding up. Microsoft is off its highs for the day. I don't know that Netflix looks good, but well, I'll tell you what, not for a little bit. Nvidia looks overbought, needs to pull back. Oracle, I would say, is still viable for me as a potential entry. I'm watching that one. That's on my short list of stocks to trade that are bullish, not to short. Short meaning it's a small list. QQQ, interesting day, right? But it hasn't failed yet. Right? It hasn't failed. So there's that. Okay, let's keep going. Starbucks, didn't. Boy, I'll tell you, I don't think we saw Starbucks. Starbucks, they did not like the earnings. Oh yeah, we did. We said we're waiting. If it can consolidate and make a higher low, I would be interested. What would that look like? That would look like this, right? If this happens, great. Very similar to back here. And it went up and then it pulled back. Bing. That right there was a nice little precursor. So certainly we have that. All right, let's keep going. Move my watch list. Silver, nothing there for us. Semiconductors, iffy, right? It needs to finish its consolidation for me. SPY, still holding up. It's not wrong. Toll Brothers, I would still put on the table on the list, right? If I see that move, I think that would have strong ability. Tesla, not much there yet. Natural gas just continues to just march down. It's a very interesting chart pattern. Visa, I like MasterCard better, but this one looks pretty similar. Okay, now, look at the VIX. We said if it closes above yesterday's open, 1954. Where are we now? 1954. Right, we're right at it. So that for me is not a confirmed high or a confirmed takeout position. As of now, I'm going to say no. 19 minutes left. I'm going to say no to the hedge. Now, here's the situation. If I don't put this on, what I have to be ready for is potentially, and we'll talk about this tomorrow morning, saying, is there something that would trigger this intraday where if it starts to accelerate and make us seem like this is breaking, at what point would we try to get the hedge on earlier without it being too early, right? That's a strong consideration, for sure. All right. I can get this off and move this over. Financials. It's not a trade now, but financials are still certainly showing us momentum that's positive overall, right? So this is not a, hey, let's hurry and jump in this, but it's saying if we're getting signals from the financial sector, those are valid. We like those. Whereas staples, utilities, healthcare, none of that is showing the momentum anymore, right? We've seen the cycle shift. And with that in mind, we definitely want to make sure that we are making the right adjustments overall. Okay. We're going to have some time today. Like we're kind of stuck a little bit overall. So if you have any stocks that you want to look at, let's take a look at them together. XLI Industrials. I would say if you don't like Caterpillar, if you feel like you missed it and you're waiting for something else, this is valid if it turns. It might not turn for a little bit, right? So I'm definitely watching this one, and I think there's opportunity. XLP, I don't like. XLU, I don't like. Let's put a U here. Let me show you why. XLV, like none of these are showing positive momentum. Where's the momentum? Well, we just added one today, which is on consumer discretionary. Beautiful looking setup, right? Very much a setup. So if you like Amazon, you could go with Amazon, but if you prefer the ETF, you've got XLY. If you like Caterpillar, you have it, or you could go with XLI. The chips look like they're pulling back. Costco still a setup. So if you look, we still have setups developing in the right sectors, right? And so Carmen said, what about a meme stock? AMC. Is it still a meme stock? I know it was for a while. We have AMC. Oh, yeah, it kind of kicked up a little bit again. If any of you are not familiar with like what we mean when we say meme stock, you can see how these things can behave. AMC was one, BBBY. The same kind of a, prospect. GME, GameStop. They've all lost their luster, but every now and again you see where they kick into gear. And hey, look, if you think that you can see the pattern of momentum developing, even on GME, it kind of is. Like if it pulls back and makes a higher low here at 20 and then it turns, do I think this thing could get to 25 or maybe even up here to like 28, 29-ish? Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. I think that's a very much a possibility. Yeah, what's the takeaway here? Cautiously bullish. There's bullish setups. There are bullish stocks and bullish sectors that are increasingly bullish that I'm waiting for to see if we get a consolidation. So if we get the consolidation, hopefully the other bullish stocks hold up, and then I get some signals. I said I think there would be a possibility for some signals this week. Let's go back. I'm going to keep an eye on SPY. And let's go look at the VIX. Very fascinating to me how close we are. So now we're back up a little bit above. Let's go look at the SPY internally. Netflix and consolidation will break soon one way or the other. Okay, yeah. Target, we'll go look at Target. No, SPY. We said 410 by 411. We got up there for a minute. Oof, maybe. So it just sort of got beat up a little bit. If it can turn around and get back up here, things will definitely look a little better. We're going to have to decide on that hedge pretty soon here. Let's go look at TG. We're going to look at a few, and then we're going to go look at that hedge and decide here in the last 10 minutes whether or not we think it needs it. Oh, Target's beautiful. I love it. Target matches the XLY. I'll add that one to the list. It's even though it's here, you can see it's holding up on this support level. I actually would give it all the way to here. So even if it comes a few more points down, but it stabilizes, everything in here looks good for the setup. As long as we don't see a fundamental shift in the way things look, I think it's going to be just fine. Right? Just fine. What else? Give me some symbols. What am I missing? What am I missing from technology? We have Apple and Microsoft. We have chips. What technology stock do you think that I need to add to my watch list that you're watching on yours? What communication services stock? NVIDIA's on the list for sure. Absolutely. You know I watch NVIDIA. I mean, it's it gives these little quasi chances. 2 days starts to move. 2 days starts to move. You got to catch it pretty quickly out of that. And now it's like, do we have 2 days start to move? There's time on NVIDIA for one more move before earnings. And we definitely seem to be buying the rumor. So whatever's going on, the market is liking it. Does it need a pullback? Yes. Everything in chips needs a pullback. I think most everything in technology needs a pullback. I welcome the pullback because it leads to the potential for bullish trades, right? And so that's definitely something that we need to keep an eye on. What's my revised number? I wish I could tell you that I remember to do it, but I still haven't. I would have to say, though, I'm not sure that it would change much. Okay, so let's just take a look at it. Yeah, about the same. So SPY. I don't know what I did with my numbers. I put them somewhere. Anyway, SPY. When you look at the weekly chart, it's kind of a head and shoulders. It technically hasn't broken it yet. I'd say the neckline is right across this 415 level for this inverted head and shoulder. Shoulder, head, shoulder. We do have a higher low. That's the right shoulder. And this looks like it's trying to get above it, but probably hasn't broke the neckline yet. It might need one more try. Overall, though, it had a higher low and now a higher high. We've surpassed this. So it's not hugely positive, but it's positive, right? We've shaken some of the. Let's look at the VIX on a longer term perspective. Maybe that helps bring some clarity to it. ARC W, Kathy Woods. So you can see here the VIX looks fine from this perspective. You know, you're hoping for one of these like extended times where it's down in its lows. This looks fine. It might pop up a little bit. If it doesn't pop up much, no problem. When you look at the current VIX, there's nothing here that says it should be anything but still bullish. We've had lower lows and lower highs, no break of consolidation, and we've had no higher low. Neither of those things have happened. When we look at SPY and we evaluate the volume, which I tend to do on a 1 month chart down here, you can see this would, I'd say, more buyers, definitely more sellers, a little bit of selling, buying, more of a sell, buy. Overall, I would say that the volume tug of war still goes to the buyers, and tie goes to the buyers, and it's not a tie. There's more buy days than sell days. So I would say the buyers are still showing a higher level of conviction even today. 8 minutes left. Yeah. And there's no volume. We're not going to get to average. This is not like look at the sellers coming in. They're smashing. They're not. So the sectors, I still see the right sectors moving into position: technology, communication services, financials, consumer discretionary, industrials trying to hang on, but industrials did their job in trying to like get things started. Yeah, I would say I'm probably still 375, maybe even 4, maybe even it went up a tick. Quite frankly, ARC W. It's going to look like the NASDAQ, only a little different. I mean, if all you see is the 1 month, you're like, look how bullish that is. When you look at the 6 month, you realize, well, we're coming off some lows. But yeah, I agree. That looks bullish. She's very heavy into chips and technology. So not surprised. I'm not even sure. Like I wonder how much correlation there is between all of it. I bet she's like 70 to 80% correlated from fund to fund. The ARC Innovation, which looks so different than the ARC, whatever the last one was. See you, John. Good to have you. All right. Let's go back to the SPY. Do we hedge? That is to hedge or not to hedge? That is the question. That is our question for today. Honestly, I'm going to say yes, but I'm going to go with 1, not 2. I'm going to go with 1 just to get it on and have a little something early. And if it's wrong, the loss is smaller. That is my hot take on it. SPY. And if we look at a March 290, 390 call. 357 right now. I'll go 358. One contract. And I'll add the second one tomorrow if we get the breakout. That's my thought. 358. Okay. Oh, baby. Yeah. All right. Well, look, don't force it. We'll be here together all week. I'll be here tomorrow morning. I'll be here on Friday morning to wrap this thing up. Let's see. It's subtle. What we're looking for is going to be subtle, but the signals should be there. I anticipate a good time together figuring it out. All right. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to run. It's good to see everybody. I appreciate your time, your participation. Don't let me put you to sleep. Jump in there and say some things. Give me some symbols. Let's collaborate. Let us definitely collaborate. All right. Well, listen, everybody, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the morning. Make sure your coffee is hot and your attitude is ready for trading. Have a great one. See you tomorrow. As always, happy trading.